Does anybody have any questions to start out?
Why does my buttons do the opposite of what needs to be done?
Now look here, Bobby. I don't think that's how it works.
I hit the buy, it drops. I hit a sell, it skyrockets every time, all day long. That's why I was like, crap, I can't get one good right away. It's period.
I'm telling you. You gotta time it right with the support and resistance and the EMAs if you're using EMAs. Have you been watching Dylan's videos?
Yes, and my timing is terrible.
That comes with practice.
So where do I find these videos at? Of people actually trading.
So I think there's only one of me actually trading on my YouTube. I hate the computer setup of MT4. So I trade on my phone pretty much 24/7. So I know I have one on there on my YouTube. Just posted that in the chat. Dylan posts a lot of videos that help in general. Charting, support and resistance, using different indicators, things like that.
Am I able to get the vision indicator on my phone?
Yeah, definitely.
And how do I go about doing that?
Do you have TradingView downloaded on your phone?
I don't.
Okay, so you'll want to download the TradingView app.
Okay.
And make sure it's connected to your account. And then from there, you should have no issue adding vision, just like you would on the computer.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Like.
So can you tag me? Can you tag YouTube channels in Discord?
Yeah. I actually just put them in the US 30 chat right now.
Cool.
And then, if anybody hasn't seen or doesn't know, I did open a US 30 tips and tricks thread for anyone that has, that's basically just looking for some type of direction. And, that's things that various users have learned so far with trading US 30 and even trading in general.
So what do I need to start this account with?
Okay, so you're starting the demo, correct?
Well, I haven't downloaded anything. I'm actually playing on the computer right now, but
so the key to start is downloading the MT4 platform, and then from there you're going to open a demo account, and to do that you'll type in.
And when you say a demo account, am I using Play Money or?
Correct.
Will I be okay? Yeah, just like the Investopedia.
Exactly.
Does it? Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question while you're doing that. And are you up at like the lunch? Because I'm having a hard. I just gotta really set my alarm because it seems like a lot of. I mean, as they say, a lot of volume comes in on the London Open, almost like right when the London and New York sessions is more open. But I see a lot of people who get in at that 2 a.m. Eastern time and see like a lot of, like I say, a lot of value whether it's being a bullish run or a bear run.
So the London session does get a good amount of volume, pretty much like equal to, if not a little bit less than the US session. And I'm usually up, but I don't always trade it. Like last night, I wish I would have been up. Otherwise, I would have caught that huge drop, and that would have been glorious.
So is the Forex, is that going to be 100% option trading? As in, when you're trading it, can I just buy stocks and sell them? Or do I have to buy options?
Oh, no, it's not options or stocks. So
okay.
Forex is a whole different ballgame. It's similar to crypto, but it's not.
Yeah. Why are you putting that? So sometimes you do trade the New York session, like around I think it opens up at 9 Eastern.
London session opens at 3 a.m. Eastern.
All right, in New York. No, I was saying, do sometimes you trade the New York session, or are you usually done by between the hours of 3 and 9?
Oh yeah, I always trade New York session.
Okay.
That's throughout the entire day when I'm doing the call outs.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you already explained this already, but as far as the vision support and resistance, because I know it's the two heavy dark dotted lines, and you have that one. It's kind of yeah, that one. I know it's that one. Yeah. So which one is that right there?
So basically, what these are, the two heavy ones are the stronger nearest ones, and
Okay.
then when they're smaller, that means they're the farther away.
Okay, got you.
Like this one was red a few minutes ago until it finally broke through.
Oh, okay.
And so that one was the nearest resistance. Now
Okay.
that one's the nearest resistance.
Okay, got you. Because it broke. Okay, got you.
Right. So, and when it's in the process of breaking, it'll actually turn yellow.
Oh, okay. Oh, you said, while it's getting ready to break, it turn yellow.
So, like,
Okay,
I believe it was on this green candle. That's when it started turning yellow. Because I saw it in the side of my eye while we were talking.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, it's moving kind of slow tonight, but it's trying to recover at least a little bit. And that's usually why I don't trade right now. Between that and the wider spread, is why I don't trade during these hours. Now I will trade if it's moving really well. Like, what was it, night before last? This thing was booking it. Like, it was going 500 miles an hour, and I was just like, all right, we're going for a ride.
Yeah, it seems to move pretty good on Sunday nights.
Oh, I'm telling you, that was just nuts, though. I was not expecting that type of movement. But I am working on, I know somebody asked me this the last time, I am still getting used to the MT4 platform on the computer itself. So once I'm fully comfortable with that, I wouldn't mind doing some videos where I'm trading on there. I would probably end up doing them earlier in the day though, just because that's when I usually trade. So from there I can do that.
Do you usually do a stop loss or a take profit, or do you just mainly do a stop loss and just you out so fast you really don't need to do a take profit?
I rarely do stop losses.
Okay.
Like the only time I really set them is if I'm going to sleep, and even then it's a rarity because I try not to have any open positions when I go to sleep. Because, like last night, everything looked good before I went to bed, and then I went to bed and everything died. So I'm like, oh, okay.
No.
So that's one of those, I'm like, glad I didn't get in.
Okay.
But take profits, I will set those if I have multiple positions open, just because it's easier to set a take profit real quick and know that it'll get there than to close out multiple positions and possibly have one go red while I'm trying to close them all out.
It's like trying to rush, and then I noticed kind of look for the highest profit one and try to close that one out first.
That's pretty much what I do. Or if I don't close the highest one, I'll close the lowest one, because if it's starting to reverse, that one has the ability to go red faster. So
that's real cool, yeah.
But I will set take profits. I'm a big fan of that. And then what was the other one? Oh, market orders. I always do market orders. Like, I have never done a limit order with US 30.
Do you have an option?
Yes, you do actually.
That might be my problem.
That's,
Not exactly, but
that's very possible.
Where's that at? I mean, is that on the platform?
Yeah, so when you go to trade, where it says market execution, you can actually click that, and it should give you the options for buy limit or sell limit.
And that's on.
I just posted a picture.
Under settings.
Are you on the computer or the phone?
On the phone.
So it should be like go.
And I got Cedar FX pulled, but it's MT4. But for whatever reason, I can't get MT4 to work on my iPad, and I'm sure it's because I ain't got it logged in correctly.
That's possible. Now if it's a demo account on MT4, then you may have to create a new demo account because I know it's super weird and funky. So, like go click trade, and then it'll pull up, like usual US 30 market execution, yada, yada, yada.
I don't have any of that.
What's yours look like?
I mean, well, market execution, yeah. When I hit the plus sign to go to it.
Yeah, so the market execution, you're going to actually touch that. Like normally mine doesn't have that list pulled all the way down.
Oh, mine is set on limit.
Ah, well, that's the issue.
Well, I kept wondering, like, why it's dragging butt, and then I'll click the button, and it'll be like $5 difference in the one. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, definitely. Like when you're on market execution.
Well, when I clicked by limit, it went to place order, and I typically don't do that.
Let's see.
If you're just on market execution, it should be market orders, right?
I always leave mine on market execution, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been on.
Okay, yeah, so you're always going to start out negative.
Right. Yeah, and I usually end up negative.
Look here.
I know.
We got to work on your timing.
I was doing so well yesterday at $2 a pop.
I know.
and today it's like, what the crap, man? If I hit the button, it immediately puts 100 points in their own direction. Like, what the crap, man?
I'm telling you, today was wild. Like, the movement.
Things settled down when they started talking about Powell's about to speak. It's like everything stopped.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sideways, and then it was berserk from there.
Like, it actually, it still amazes me the fact that, I got in while it was in the 600s.
Oh, let me hit you right back, man. I need to go put something in my stomach.
What's up, Rock?
What's going on?
Oh, just chilling tonight. What's up with you?
Oh, chilling.
How you doing over there?
Good.
Killing it.
Trying to catch some pips.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, I caught the bottom and the top.
Ooh. What'd you trade today?
US 30. Actually, not too long ago.
Oh, snap. Best be posting those profits. We miss you chatting around here.
I know I had to ease off of that because that's so many calls.
No.
Yeah.
Current chart is a wee bit tricky, don't you think?
What?
This current chart is a wee bit tricky, don't you think?
It is, yes. Let's see, there, looks a little bit better now, but yeah, I don't know. It's just going to go sideways for a little bit.
Good. I'm confident in it going back down, but it's above some of the EMAs on the 3 minutes. So I'm like, it could stay up there for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's back above.
I am tempted to enter for a short, though.
It's back above the 50 and the 20 with a cross on the 5 minute. So I could definitely see it going up a little bit more. But I don't know. Like, I was not expecting that huge of a drop today. And then I think we have news tomorrow, too. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we do. Look at that. Oh, and Powell speaks tomorrow. Look at that.
They're trying to run it in the ground.
I'm telling you, they're trying to start the market crash. They're doing great. They're
Spy puts did Pelosi buy? That's the question.
That's the real question, yeah.
Did y'all read that they're actually trying to introduce a bill that anyone in office cannot have stocks or options?
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I completely agree. It's not a bad idea. But
There was an article that said like there were several hundred like judges and lawyers and all these people that had been representing all these stuff in these lawsuits have like committed a crime because they were trading during that time too.
oh yeah.
I was like, these folks are killing me.
See, the funny thing about it though is they're always going to find a way around it.
Always.
Because I mean, they do now, they have family and friends trade for them, or their fourth cousin removed on their great uncle's side.
Pelosi's husband's a great trader.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best. Like it's crazy. And I agree, they do need to have that set up though.
There was something posted a while ago on Twitter, about taxing unrealized capital gains.
Really?
I was like, ooh, that's going to be bad.
Man, if they actually pass that, oh man. Like, whoo.
There's a clause. It does not include anybody in office.
Are you serious?
Kind of like the healthcare bill. I'm just joking, but I mean, I can see them doing that.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Like,
Applies to everybody but us.
if they actually passed that, oh man. Like, that's catastrophic consequences for so many people.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, this is the government and they don't care.
Nope.
But I did just post the chart for tomorrow. We do have news at 6, 8, 9, and 9:45. Mortgage applications, Fed Harker speech, pending home sales, and Powell. Yep.
Yeah. Be a wild morning, and it'll settle out about 10.
Yeah. It's going to be a wild one. I might actually wake up early to trade all that. I don't know yet.
Hey, Jesus, just calm down. My computer's dinging at me that we have something new just applied from Vision. It dinged about 12 times.
Oh,
I guess that's popped up.
That is... Let's see if it's on here yet.
It just popped up like it was a new deal.
Let's see. Might not show up on here yet. Let me see. If I got the email.
Josh just sent out a message.
Oh, snap. Here we go. We're going to like it. And we're going to add to the favorites. There we go. Ha ha. One way or another. Here we go. Ha ha. Why I went through all that when I already had it, It's just for y'all. Just for y'all. Okay. Just added the Vision Essentials RSI. Y'all should be able to see that on my screen. This right here.
Say how to use it.
They actually, I believe, Dylan is making a video on that, or Josh. Let me see, because they usually do a video with it. Almost always. Yeah. So he should be working on a video. And it does actually, when you open it up on TradingView, it does go over it. So basically it's saying Vision Essentials RSI is the first indicator from our Essentials pack that we have planned. It's our twist on the highly popular RSI, which means Relative Strength Index oscillator. What makes this indicator different from the usual RSI? So based on community feedback, we provided users with a visual plus adjustable oversold and overbought range to avoid having to redraw boxes during the session. Adjusting the settings will update the box positioning on the chart to match. Let me actually make this up a little bit. Here we go. We utilize custom inputs to allow users to select Heikin-Ashi based open, high, low, and close, as well as the usual open, high, low, and close, HL2, HLC3, and the OHLC4 inputs. More coming soon. The indicator will track the values of the recent high and low points. That's over here. High, low. Of the RSI based on the distance setting. These values are displayed as text floating at the end of the pane, obviously, as well as plotted lines for a visual of the past and current high-low points. You do have complete customization of color schemes used by the oversold box, the overbought box, the RSI lower color, higher color, recent low color, recent high color, and the text color. How do I use this indicator? Good Lord, Josh, you can write a book. Okay, so basically to start using the indicator, we are going to simply apply it to the chart. Ta-da, we have applied. You can use the predefined values matching the most common RSI configuration. That would be, let me click it, Vision Essentials RSI. So the most common is 30 and 70. That's pretty much standard with RSI. You can adjust it though. So, close is the most common. So that's the RSI source and default, which utilizes the closing price of the candles. So when it grabs the RSI total, it's going for the close of that candle, which is pretty standard across all RSI indicators. The RSI length, this setting provides the indicator the length or distance you want the RSI outlook to be based on. Most common is a 14-day time frame, so 2 weeks. Pretty simple. Keep in mind that the value of a 14-day time frame on a 15-minute chart is not the same as the value of 14 on a 1-day chart. The simple way to view this setting is to consider how many candles back you want the calculation to be based on. So if I'm doing RSI length of 14 and I'm on the 5-minute chart, it's going for the recent 14 candles back. Makes sense. RSI oversold. This setting is considered the low level of the RSI. So that's the bottom one down here. 30 is the most common setting. The lower the RSI, the more momentum that it's considered to be in place. RSI overbought. This, of course, is going to be the high level. 70 is the most common setting. The higher the RSI, the more momentum that is considered to be in place. Then we have the high-low distance. That is right here. Right now it's set on 200. What this does is it's going to define the number of candles back that the indicator will look to determine the recent high and low values. So if I have it set at 200 on the 5-minute chart, it's going to go back 200 candles and tell me the recent high and the recent low RSI for those 200 candles. So for US 30 on the 5-minute, the recent high was 67.56. The recent low was really low at a lovely 18.63. So it dropped way down earlier. Pretty sure, let me click OK here. And let me minimize that back down. And let me do this. And let me do this. Pretty sure that low was right about here. Yeah. When it hit 250 earlier. Because that's when it was way down there. All right, there we go. And there we go. All right, and we'll bring this back up so we can see it. Nice and pretty colors. All right. Then we have the visual style. Ooh, sounds fancy. Gradient provides you with a gradient fill between two RSI lines. The first is the root RSI based on your settings, and the second is a doubled value, which creates the fill gap. Gradient plus highlight is the same as gradient, but enables the coloring of the root RSI edge of the gradient. So basically, it's telling you, what it's doing to get this lovely little color change. Which I do like how it does that, how it goes from a nice lime green way down here, kind of tinged up here, nice pink up here. Let's see here. The RSI lower, this setting, let me click on that. Here we go. RSI lower, RSI higher. This was the gradient. So we have this setting controls the color used by the indicator when the RSI value is on the lower end of the spectrum. So that's going to be this one. So let's say I want to get fancy. Ooh, now I'm blue. Ta-da. Let's say I want to get really fancy. I'm going to change the RSI higher to purple. Oh, wow. Okay, that is really close. Let's do it light. Haha. Or white. That's actually kind of pretty. All right, so basically that's telling you, this is how you change the coloring. So y'all can play with this. Pick out the colors you want, whichever work best for you. The red and green is pretty standard. As you can see why, it's easy to identify. The recent low color did that. The recent high color, got that. Let's see. That's this line down here. And this line up here. So it's actually, let me click OK. So it's following along with the RSI. Obviously, as it's moving up, the RSI high will be the one to be a little more jumpy. But this one's pretty straight right now because it's so low. Let me click that back. All right. I'm going to have to change all these colors later. And then we have the text color. Kind of obvious. Ooh, now that's fancy. All right. Ta-da! So, honestly, with my RSI source, I'm going to leave it at basically factory setting because I don't want to mess with that. Same with my length, and I pretty much leave my RSI oversold and overbought at 3070. Sometimes I will change it to 2080 just because I've noticed with a lot of stocks or indices, pretty much anything, 2080 is a really good range as well. Style, leave that alone. Visibility, you can mess with this. I highly suggest against it. Basically, if you want to play with anything, play with the colors and your oversold, overbought, and distances. They try to keep it pretty simple and easy, and I do know Dylan should be doing a video on this because, y'all know he's pretty awesome about that.
Is it coming out soon?
It just came out.
I tried to add it. How do I do it?
You're going to want to log out of TradingView and then log back in. Yeah. So basically what that does is it's just like with Vision or any other indicator that's brand new. It's resetting the system.
And then where did he find the announcement about it? Because it's not up top.
It'll be in watch list.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yeah, we post a lot in the watch list. And if we don't post it there, I believe he's going to post it in the announcements here soon as well. If he doesn't, let me do it. Copy text, and I'll post it. There we go. Because I know everybody reads the announcements. Ta-da! There.
Was it useless having this thing up with RSI? Should you just have one, or is it better to have like both?
What?
Like regular RSI that comes on TradingView and then this one, or would that be just a waste of an indicator pretty much?
Probably a waste of an indicator because this is RSI. The main difference is, have you watched the recent videos that Dylan does?
Some of them, like the Forex one, how to trade.
Yeah, so on the bottom, he usually has RSI pulled up. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this or not, but he'll have these boxes up here and down here. Yeah. So that's basically what they did is they built the RSI indicator to include that so that he wouldn't have to draw it.
And then it's like more like a ribbon almost than a line.
Exactly.
Nice.
And
So in the middle, is it just supposed to be like white on the neutral settings, or what was it? Like orange?
Let's see.
Because I've been kind of taught like 50 and above is bullish, and anything below is sometimes not.
Pretty much, yeah. So if it's, so when you're getting to the 50 and above area, that means you're getting into that, why can I not speak today? Overbought. Literally looking at it in front of my face. So when you're getting to that 50 and above, you're approaching that overbought area, which means that depending on what you're looking at, it can come down at any point. Now, certain things are going to have a wider range than others. Like there are some that I've seen, Wells Fargo, for example. I've seen that one. It can be about 15 to 20 for oversold, and then it can go up to 90 for the overbought before it ever turns around.
Jeez.
Yeah, like there are some of them that get out there like that. So that's one of those things, you know, you basically, depending on what you're watching, you study it. And this actually helps take the studying, like, and minimize it, basically, because it's giving you, you know, that recent high and the recent low of, you know, like this one, the last 200 candles. Whereas previously, I would actually go back through and I would look at the lowest point and then the highest point and then go from there. So this would have been nice to have about a year ago.
What were you saying about the 15 minutes versus the 5 on like was it the 200 day or something?
So that's going to be the RSI length. So like so right now it's showing the recent high as 70 and 18, right? And that's on the 5 minute. So if I do this, and let's minimize all this. If I do 1 day, see how the recent high and the recent low changes?
Yep.
So that's what it's talking about. It's getting the information for the past 14 candles. So on the day, you know, that's 14 days. But on the 5 minute, you know, that's like this whole section right here.
Oh, okay.
So it's really good to look at, you know, if you're wanting to get like a nice indication of what's been going on the past 14 days. Like, just look at that. That is stunning.
A lot of times it doesn't even hit the bars, huh? Or on the daily at least.
A lot of times, no. That's what it's looking like. So this is when, you know, right there, like, that's how you know it's so overbought, when it enters that zone, you know? And then even when it touches the tips on the lower line. So like right in here, we're pretty much in the middle right now. Let's see. And I think they have, what is this highlight color? Ooh. Okay. Well, that's what that does. Gradient plus highlight. Highlight only. So you can change it to highlight only if you want. So then it'll look basically just like RSI, except, you know, with the fancier stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
So if you're not a fan of the gradient, you can always change it.
Because are you using the reversal zones very much on the Dow Jones one or no?
I am a little bit. I'm actually still getting used to it. If you've worked with the Fibonacci's at all, then you'll know pretty much exactly what's going on. Like, let me Ooh, it's storming out here. That's nice. Like, you know, right in here, this is actually a good indication. And this is why the triple EMAs help too. So it's way above the top of the red, right? Well, that means, you know, it's basically telling you what the RSI is telling you. It's overbought. People are about to sell it. It needs to come down. So starts coming down. And then let me turn triple EMA off. So the differences in shading, those are basically levels. So came down almost to hit the bottom of this level before bouncing. Now, it basically tried to hit the top, failed. Now it's trying to bounce back down. Well, it's kind of stuck right there, but yeah. Let's see. Might be able to see it better on. There we go. So you can see how, let's see, when was this? On the 20th. We were far below. So that means it's basically due for an imminent reversal. We have a reversal up, hit right on the money. Bounced down, right on the money. Bounced up, bounced down. And of course, it's not always going to, hit it right on the dot because, this is the stock market, price action, people, emotional trading, that affects everything. But you get the idea. Bounce down, bounce up, bounce down. They tried to bring it lower. That's this really long wick right here. They failed. They brought it up, bounced down, brought it up. Tried to bounce it down, looks like. They failed, brought it up, and now it's kind of just sitting there till it bounced all the way down. And now it's trying to bounce back up, and it'll probably reverse right in here. But if not, then it'll go into this range. With the news coming out, I don't really see it going higher. I could actually see it going back lower, which is a scary.
Bud coming out or what?
Huh?
Bud?
Pretty much. We have the looming debt ceiling. They haven't come to a conclusion on that yet.
That's so annoying. Like every year they do that shit.
I know, right? Like, they have the entire year to get things done, but do they? No, of course not. Why?
This is Congress we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. It's
like, would they really run out of money? Couldn't they just pull some phantom money out of somewhere?
That's pretty much what they do when they actually decide to, say, oh, hey, this is what we're going to do this year. Because we all know there ain't no money left. Like, what are we, almost $4 trillion in debt? How do you even come out of that?
You don't.
Exactly. And, they're wanting to pass all these tax laws. And it would take years for us to make up that $4 trillion, even with all the new tax laws.
Isn't our GDP a couple trillion every year though, or does that not even come out of it?
I haven't even figured out how they set that up. At this point, I'm just like, money, it doesn't exist. It exists because we say it exists.
It's all on credit, right?
Exactly. That's why crypto is, it exists because we say it exists.
Guess who owns all the credit?
China?
Yep.
That's why the Evergrande FUD is so real.
I still don't get how that impacts global markets because of one company.
So, you know how the entire stock market was shook because of the whole GME and AMC?
Yeah.
That's because of what, two companies, I think. So,
Citadel?
Yeah. So one company, Citadel, and then I think there was another one that was really big in it too.
BlackRock, I think.
Yeah. So imagine those companies going completely bankrupt, not paying their employees, just massive downfall. That's Evergrande.
Because I have so many employees and so many properties, probably.
So many employees, properties, companies, investors. Everything is connected.
Not
And
to mention how
everything
big
is
the
ruled
housing
by
sector
just a
is.
couple
Yeah.
companies nowadays. It's insanity.
Because I heard they just got way over leveraged and bought a bunch. How they make money is like buy a bunch of properties up, and then it's like they almost have to wait on the development to get paid.
And that's the thing, is that everyone is using leverage and credit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm actually about to post this. So I just posted an article. And that is actually recent, as of 20 minutes ago.
On watch list, or where'd you post?
US 30 chat.
Oh, okay.
And the thing about that one is, it's tied into a lot of real estate. So if they collapse, that affects real estate globally. And we already know that a real estate housing market crash is coming. Like, we're waiting for it. And so as soon as that happens, the banks will follow.
I believe the U.S. housing market, the growth is cooling down already, no? Cooling down, not correcting.
Cooling down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is still astronomically high.
Yep.
And it's basically a ticking time bomb that they're trying to hold off. If they can, is the question.
But they can only do it for so long, no?
Exactly. I mean, this is the same thing as 2008. Just
Except
a different set of situations.
Like a shitty sequel that no one asked for, pretty much.
Exactly.
Are you talking about like The Big Short? How the credit default swaps they're doing that again, or what?
In a similar fashion. It's like we were saying, it's like 2008, just with a slightly different set of circumstances. Basically, the government don't learn anything.
Neither do the people voting.
Truth. I mean, how long have these people been in office?
Correct.
Lifetimes?
Longer than I've been alive. And that's
I think it doesn't really feel like we're learning from history. If anything, it's more like we're learning that we don't learn from history.
That's exactly what it is. That is exactly right. Horrifying, isn't it? Let's see. And announced. Boom. Had to type that out. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to play with these colors later. Although I do like the yellow. That's kind of fancy. It just started storming here, and I can hear it out the window. It's just like whoosh. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Hey, Cash, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So when coming up on a like a support or resistance, either one, and it kind of peeks its head through a little bit, what indicators are you looking for that like reassures you, okay, it definitely broke through and I'm not about to get like faked out?
So like this one right here?
Yes, that's a perfect one.
So basically what you want to look for is the full break. And it's usually almost always retests like it did here. But that full break is almost always a good indication.
Oh, okay.
Because right here, this was, I think this was actually let's see, was I in earlier on that one? Let me look at my positions.
That looks like where I shorted and it turned around and went green.
You probably shorted it right here and it went green right there, didn't it?
Correct.
And then you got out because you got scared, and then it went whoo.
That was one of the times, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time.
It happens. So this is actually this is where I got out earlier. So I entered, where was it? 6. Yeah. So I entered right about here. Let me draw a line. I entered.
Put that on a 5 minute and it's.
Oh yeah. Let me put that on the. Forgot I was on the 15. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Hold on. Aha. All right. Now I'll actually minimize this since they've closed in a little bit.
Yeah. The resistance levels are moved.
Yeah. So the resistance levels looked different earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the same area.
Yep. Okay, so
The
I got
big
in.
long candle right there got me.
This one?
No, to your right. That one.
This one?
Yeah, I held through the first green candle right there, that little bitty one.
Oh.
Yeah, that one.
Well, shoot,
and then it went dead, and all of a sudden it shot back to. I was like, crap.
Oh, okay. So I know exactly what you did. All right.
Yep.
So I got in right about there. Yeah, we'll draw that nice little purple line. And, all right. You know what? Fine, I won't draw the purple line. I'll draw a trend line. 611. Gosh. Golly. Okay. My horizontal line. I forgot I reset my chart earlier. Aha! And let's make it a nice hot pink. Or not. There we go. Now we can see it. All right, so that was my entry earlier. It was right as it broke support. Perfect entry. It was gorgeous. So then I wrote it all the way down to where was my exit? 520. So 520. All right, there we go. So this one, I actually, let me zoom in. Dun, dun, dun. You know what? This computer is not working with me today. 520. Okay, there we go. Let's zoom in for some nice candle watching. All right. So, had the break of support, wrote it down. This candle was nice and gorgeous. Then you had this green candle right here. I was like, this is a possible imminent reversal. Now, if I had gotten in way up here, then I definitely would have wrote out that green candle like a champ. But because I got in lower, I didn't want to risk the chance of that being a full-on reversal and losing all of my gains. So that's when I exited this nice low green candle right here. Let me mix that up. So then I actually went back in for a few more sells as it kept on going down. Now, where Bobby got in, let's see. You got in, where was it? Right about there, Bobby?
Nope. 2 candles down.
Oh, right there.
That one broke. When it broke, I got in, and then it kind of eased back up.
Okay.
And then got in one to the left. That one.
You got in on that one?
That one broke. Yeah, that one broke support, and I jumped in and held it through the first green one, and then it came down. I was like, okay, it's retested. It's good. It's coming down. Wrong idea.
So basically, what yours was doing was what I thought this one was going to do. Yours actually did the full-on 20 EMA test. So yours was basically, it was a good entry, just a little bit late. Now, an even better entry would have been anywhere up here or as it failed the 20 EMA. Because then it went, woo! Obviously, that's never guaranteed, but woo! This is why I use the EMAs, because they're acting as your support and resistance as well. It resisted there, resisted, resisted, resisted. Even though it got close, it still resisted. Supported, supported again, failed, acted as resistance, and then right now it's basically kind of trying to smash between them and act as a support and resistance. Tried to fail here, came up for the retest, and now it's acting as a support. Olive, what are you doing? So I definitely expect it to keep staying as a support for a little bit, especially if it makes it back over the 200. But as you can see, the RSI is also fairly high right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's at about 62, 63. So definitely a little high. Not too bad. We've all seen worse. But I think that's your biggest thing. Are you using the triple EMAs, Bobby?
Yes. Effectively, probably not.
It happens. Start looking for situations like that. It's not always gonna, be that gorgeous of a setup. But if you can find those setups, then, that works too. And this is also, I don't know if you saw this when I called it out in the chat or not, but this was also that H setup. So that was, you were a little early on the uptake, but the execution overall would have been gorgeous if you had stayed in. But I can understand why you got out.
Yeah, I mean, it moves $100 in the wrong direction. You're like, Jesus.
Oh yeah. That's
well,
one of
I
those.
didn't all the way to 100, but that's where it
How big a lot were you doing?
Oh, just a 0.01.
Oh, okay.
I'm not brave enough to do anything bigger yet.
Well, when you do like the 0.1 or 0.2s, aren't you down like a couple hundred right away, Cass?
Not really. I'm actually, depending on if it's moving the right way or not, I'm only down usually like 20, $60.
Okay.
And that's if
that
it's
spooked me a little bit.
Yeah, that's only if it's moving, like if I'm getting in on a pullback and it's like, oh wait, hold on, let me reverse real quick, and then I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Like sometimes, I can sit through some negative 300, 400 areas and I'm just like, you can come down anytime now. but that was a gorgeous H setup. You just got in a little early there, Bobby.
That's always bearish.
99.9% of the time.
So you have to wait for that formation pretty much, and then you can like get in.
Not really. So, I got in earlier and then I got out because, this is one of those where when it's starting that up of the H, that's always the moment of, is this the reversal? But then it finishes it out. And as soon as it starts curving over, that's your indication that, oh, hey, this is an H formation. Now, that H can quickly turn into, obviously this one's a little sideways, looks a little bit better. Yeah, looks better on MT4 when it's scrunched up. But in a similar fashion, H, but then it goes into the W. So that's when it goes bullish, is when it hits that double bottom range. So an H formation itself, 99% of the time, will always be bearish as long as it finishes it out. If the bulls manage to stop it and bring it into a double bottom, then it turns bullish. That's only if they can do that. Usually the selling pressure is, pretty good by then. And they tried, like right in here, all these little green candles, they were like, please, come on, we can do this. And, that was basically all day of them saying, nope, not today. Like, I was surprised that it just kept on going today. I was just looking at it like, should I get in? But I feel like that's FOMO. I don't know. And when you ask that of yourself, as, if you're like, okay, should I get in? But I feel like that's FOMO. That's basically an indication that you shouldn't get in. I don't care if it keeps on going the direction you thought it did. It's the point of the matter that you're second guessing your decision.
Do that a lot.
Gotta quit that. Gotta quit it.
Like, so when it's like running up real hard or running down real hard, like, is it better to just stay away and wait for like another bear bull signal, or is it ever advisable to just like jump in and kind of ride it? Because it's like sometimes it's like you're watching it for like, an hour or two and it's still going up, and it's like, okay, well, am I just waiting for the next signal, or can I get in?
If it's meeting the parameters of you making an entry, then yes, get in. That's exactly what I did here, because let me turn vision on. Yeah, there we go. So Vision had the bear signal this morning, and I didn't get in till way down here. Like, I wish I had, been awake enough or, paying attention, because I was awake. I just wasn't paying attention to it. I wish I had paid attention to it when it was up here and started the bear signal, because, that was the 780s, and I didn't get in until way down here at 611. So that would have been a lot of points for me. But you basically wait for the setup. You don't chase it. You have to wait for that setup to come to you. And if you don't see a setup, then don't get in until the next signal comes along. Like right here, this technically would have been a good little scalp, a good little buy scalp. And let's see. Yeah, I didn't get in on this one because I was watching it. Because there was a resistance right up here as well. And that's what it failed, was that resistance. So from there, I pretty much scalped my way down until it finally hit over here. And I did some buys at 350 when it finally broke over the 20. Yeah, that's doo-doo-doo.
So do you always wait for it to go over the 20 if it's in a bull?
If I'm wanting more than a scalp, preferably yes. Just because, like right here, I mean, you're always going to have these little tests, but it's never guaranteed as of how far. Like right here, you know, this was a solid test, but did it go all the way to the 20? No. So when you break over the 20, that's a good, that's a good sign. Then when it breaks over the 50, that's an even better good sign. And then from there, let's see, when did I get out? Yeah, I got out. Literally right as it broke over the 50. Just because I wasn't sure how far it was going to go. And it was fighting it the entire way. So it actually went up to, what was it? About 520. Did I get back in? No. Because is it guaranteed that it was going to go that extra length? No. And then the rest of the day I actually hadn't got in because I missed all that.
And how long do you say you wait after market opens? Like 30 minutes because there's so much like fake outs?
If I can see that it's picked a solid direction, then I'll get in anytime. But it is better to wait at least a few minutes for it to actually pick a direction. So let me see here. Let me scroll back and find a day where it was super crazy. I mean, this one's kind of crazy. Not too bad though. Let's see, 8:30. It went up, went back down. So that one's kind of normal. Let's see. 8:30. No, that was a normal day too. Where are all my crazy days at? Goodness. I don't know. There's been a couple days where it'll be absolutely nutty, where it'll look like this. And when it looks like that, you don't want to trade that. Because, that's one of those, well, which way is it going, George? Oh, here we go. Crazy day. And let me get rid of that line. So, you think it's going down. You think it's going up. And then it's like, oh, wait, no, I'm going down again. So at that point, if you got in along right here, then you're screwed. Because you're like, oh, wait, okay, it's going above the 200 EMA. Everything's looking good. Yada, yada, yada. Let's do it. And then the market says, not today. So that's one of those, you look for it to close above the EMAs as well. And it's not always 100%, like right here. Although I'm pretty sure there was a resistance right there. But that's one of those. You try to avoid market open initially unless you have a solid sense of the direction. Like today, it wasn't too hard to see that, everything was dying and dropping hard. That's, some days it's obvious, some days it's not. On the days it's not, things get a little bit iffy.
Especially reporting unemployment.
What's up?
Especially when they're reporting unemployment.
Oh, you're telling me.
Holy Jesus.
Like,
up 500, down 500, sideways.
that is one of the worst announcements I swear they come out with. And it's all fluff. Because we all know that those unemployment numbers are not that great. Let's see. There.
Does it ever happen with the Dow Jones, like the London session, say it's tanking really hard?
Mm-hmm.
Can the New York session like
bring it
be
up?
Just the opposite, or do they usually go in tandem?
Oh no, like there's been times where we've seen it when the London session will bring it down super low, and then the US session will just rocket it up to the moon. And then it's been the other way too. The London market will be like, all right, we're going to the moon, boys. And then the US session is like, nah, bears today. So at that point, you're just like, whew, all right, whiplash.
Well, I saw it dropping hard last night, and I was like, I wonder if I should put a little puts on the Dow, but it's risky doing that. But
you know, like, I was so upset because I fell asleep last night. One of the rare times that I sleep. So we were watching it before I went to bed, and that's when it was going up, and I was like, oh yeah, it's looking good. The EMA's just crossed, that's very bullish. Like, things are looking great. But the candles were so small. Oh snap, my power just went out. Our freaking phone signal's out too. Yes, my LTE ain't doing crud. Glad you got out of your position.
My luck, it was dicey for a good hot minute.
Oh, I bet it was. All right, y'all. This is good night. Everyone have a great one. If you have any questions, please let me know. My messages are always open.